Okay, so here we'll in this mathematics 4, and this is the module 1, right? This is module 1. We are going to discuss about the complex variable. Some introductions I will give about the basics of complex numbers, then we'll go ahead. Okay, so what is a complex number? Z is equal to u plus iv. This is the complex number where u is called as real part of z, real part of complex number, and v is called as imaginary part of v. V is called as imaginary part of this z. Getting here? This is v and this is u. Getting here? So now here in this is the basics already we have studied, and that theta is equal to tan inverse of v by u, which is argument of z. This one all basic we have studied already in the 11th and 12th. Now here what we are doing here, to consider if given f of z is equal to any function. Okay, like consider is given z square. So this f of z is called as complex variable. Okay, where real part and imaginary part directly is not given. We have to substitute the values of z values. Z values is what? Either we can write x plus iy, or u plus iv, anything. Z is equal to x plus iy. I have substituted it, right, and square it. So then we will get it the real part and imaginary part. If we expanded this one here, we can write x square plus iy whole square plus I into 2xy, right? So x square and I square is equal to minus 1. You know this one, right? I square is equal to minus 1. This is we have studied in the 11th and 12th, right? Complex number. So I square minus 1. So I can write minus y square plus I into 2xy, right? So along with which one I is given, that is imaginary part, right? And this remaining is real part. So we can write it u is equal to this x square minus y square. This is the real part, and v is 2xy. Any doubt till here? So any function is given f of z. This is called as complex variable. Okay. So by substituting the z is equal to x plus y, and whatever the expression is given, you expand it, we can find the real part and imaginary part. Okay. When you are substituting z is equal to x plus iy, this is called as Cartesian form. Okay, Cartesian form. When z is equal to x plus y, you are substituting it, that is called as Cartesian form. Okay, Cartesian form means x and y. X means this is the real part of z, and this is called as imaginary part of z. Okay, so x plus y means this is the coordinate x and y, you can assume here. This is x, this is y, and this is called as z, yeah, amplitude. Okay, yeah, modulus of z, right? And this is the theta, which is called as argument. So z is equal to x plus y, x plus iy in the Cartesian form. In polar form, z is equal to r into e to the power of I theta. Okay, and e to the power I theta is equal to, this is Euler formula, e power I theta we can write cos theta plus I sin of theta. Getting here? So consider the same question, f of z is equal to given here z square, and you want to find the real part and imaginary part by using the polar form. This is the polar form, right? First time we have done in the Cartesian form, z is equal to x plus iy, you can substitute, and we can find the real part and imaginary part. Similarly, consider we are substituting the z is equal to r into e power I theta in polar form, and we are trying to find the real part and imaginary part. So we can write f of z is as it is only, z is equal to, I can substitute it in the polar form, what? R into e to the power of I theta, right? This one whole square. Any doubt till here? This one square is given, so we can write r square and e to the power of I into 2 theta, right? A power of m to the power of n is a power mn, e power of I theta to the power 2 given e to the power of I 2 theta we can write. So r square as it is only, and what I said, cos e power I theta is given, you can write cos theta plus I sin theta. Similarly, if e to the power of I n theta given, yeah, good, cos of n theta plus I sin of n theta we can write. So in the place of this e power I 2 theta we can write cos of 2 theta plus I sin 2 theta, right? So if we multiply here, we will get it r square cos of 2 theta plus I into r square times sin of 2 theta, right? So this will become real part because there is no any I. Okay, so u is equal to, we can write r square cos 2 theta, and imaginary part v is equal to, we can write r square sin of 2 theta. Any doubt till here? So f of z is equal to, z square is given complex variable here, so we can put the Cartesian value also, and we can find the real parts and imaginary part, which means u and v, and we can put the polar form also. Polar form z is equal to r into e to the power of I theta. We can substitute the place in the place of z r into e to the power I theta, and we can find the real part, which is u, and imaginary part v. Till here any doubt? So why we are doing this one here? Consider here why we are doing this one. When you have to apply Cartesian form, when you have to apply polar form, that I will tell you while solving the problems. But now to try to understand why we are doing so, why we are taking the real part and imaginary part separate here. Okay, so the Cauchy-Riemann equations. Okay, the analytic function, analytic analysis. Okay, you have correct also analytic function. Okay, a complex variable means f of z, right? Okay, you can also write like this here, w is equal to f of z. In f of z there will be real part u, which in term of x and y, plus I v, that v also will be term of x and y, right? This is the complex variable function. Is said to be analytic, at point z is equal to z naught. We are doing for the Cartesian forms because u and v have taken term of x and theta, not r and theta. Okay, so this one is analytic at point z is equal to z naught, then for consecutive differentiation, for consecutive partial derivatives of u and v, which is, I will write it here, u is given, consider u you find it and v you find it. In the analytic function is given f of z, you got the u and v, where u is the what? Real part, and v is the imaginary part, right? This one u differentiate with respect to x partially, so we will get it del u by del x. You also represented as u of x, right? Also differentiate with respect to y, so del u by del y, you also called as u of y. Similarly you do for the v also, del v by del x, that is equal to v of x, and del v by del y, which is also called as v of y, right? So this diagonally will be the same. Okay, this diagonal means del u by del x is equal to del v by del y. Okay, and this one diagonal with minus, del u by del y is equal to minus del v by del x. If both are same, then this f of z, which complex variable is given, is said to be analytic. Getting here? What is mean by analytic? Means like consider you have a study in the real number differentiation, right? Differentiation is what? Limit of, if anything s tends to 0, f of a plus h minus f of a by h should be exist, right, for the differentiation. Here also in the complex form is differentiation only is said to be analytic only. Here in the this is the real and imaginary both is there, so we cannot tell that this function is differentiable, is said to be analytic. Okay, if function is analytic means function is differentiable only, called as in the real, and real number is called as differentiable, and her complex part is called as analytic. So analytic means same as a differentiation only. You can tell that this function is differentiable if this condition holds, but in the complex number this differentiable words is analytic function. So we can write there, if function is analytic, then this condition should be holds. Yeah, if this condition holds, then function will be differentiable, yeah, also called as analytic. Any doubt till here? This equation, this statement is given by the Cauchy-Riemann equation. We also call as Cauchy-Riemann equation in Cartesian form, because we have used the u and v in term of x and y, so that's why x and y is Cartesian form. Any doubt till here? So we will try to prove this one here. Okay, so here the statement, you write it in the examination comes here, derive the Cauchy-Riemann equation in the Cartesian form. So you write the statement here first, and then you have to prove it. Okay, so in the textbook is given the different method, I am applying the easy method. Okay, so consider w is equal to f of z. This one is analytic function. We are assuming this is analytic. Okay, can you hear me? So f of z is equal to analytic means this values u, f of z is equal to will be term of u plus iv, right? F of z is equal to, we can write here, u plus I into v, right? So now this one differentiate with respect to x partially. So so this one, so that's why I am putting here. So this one I am writing here, f of z is equal to, this f of z is what, x plus iy, right? So in the place of z I can write it here x plus iy, right? Getting this one here, and this one if you write as it is only, u plus I into v. Now differentiate this one with respect to x. So what we can write, this one is f dash of x plus iy, and inside differentiation, x differentiation is 1 and y is 0, right? Because we are differentiating with respect to partially with respect to x. Okay, differentiate with respect to x partially, you can write it here. We are differentiating partially, so this f of z differentiation become what, f of x differentiation, this one, and inside differentiation is x differentiation is 1 and y is 0. Any doubt till here? I consider, if for example is the sine of x square plus y square, so what do you write, cos of as it is only, right, chain rule, and then x square differentiation is 2x and y square is 0, right? Like that only we are doing. Now in the right hand side you can write, this is del u by del x plus I into del v by del x. This one consider equation number 1. Okay, now this function same, you differentiate partially with respect to y, with respect to y. So we can write here f dash of x plus iy as it is only, this one, this component, this means angle is given here as it is only, and inside differentiation, x differentiation is 0 and iy differentiation is, I is as it is only and y is 1, right? So we can write del u by del y plus I into del v by del y. Any doubt till here? So now I, this one I will bring it this side, so we can compare, this left hand side is same, so I will bring it this side, so I will get it x plus iy as it is only, this one will get 1 upon I del u by del y plus this I get cancelled, del v by del y. Any doubt till here? Just this one I have brought it this side. So this one is 1 by I and this I get cancelled, right? So f dash of z x plus iy is equal to, correct, 1 upon I is equal to, keep in mind here, 1 upon I is equal to minus I. Okay. So this one you correct, minus I del u by del y plus del v by del y as it is only. Getting? This one consider equation number 2. Okay. So we can write from equation 1 and 2. From 1 and 2 we can write it here. This left hand side is same, right? This one and this one is same. The right side also should be same. Okay. The right side, if you compare this, real part will be same. This del u by del x and here real part is what? Del y. So we can write it here, del u by del x is equal to del v by del y. Getting here? And imaginary part will be the same. So del v by del x is equal to what we can write? Minus of del u by del v by del x is equal to minus del u by del y. Okay, so this is proof of Cauchy-Riemann equations, okay, in the Cartesian form. Any doubt till here? Okay, any doubt? Once again you want explanation? Just f of z is equal to x plus iy, you write it, differentiate respect to x with respect to y. And this one 1 upon I is equal to minus I. How it's come? Because you already studied this one in the 12th. 1 upon I is there, so you can write multiply with I and I, right? So I as it is only, and the denominator will get it I square. And I square we know that minus 1. So I divided by minus 1, which is minus I only. Okay? Any doubt till here? Okay, same Cauchy-Riemann equation we will do the derivation for the polar form. In polar form. In polar form, we can write it here. F of z is the complex function, a complex variable here, where u is given in term of r and theta, and v also in term of r and theta. Okay, is said to be analytic if this condition holds. This u del u by del r is equal to 1 upon r del v by del theta. Okay, and del v by del r is equal to 1 upon r minus of this del u by del theta. This condition if it holds, then is said to be analytic in the polar form. Okay, this is the statement. So we will prove it, this one here. We will consider here, consider what w is equal to f of z, which is u of r and theta, plus I v also in term of r theta is analytic. We are considering it. Okay, consider. Okay, any doubt till here? So now we are writing in the form of polar form. So f of z is equal to u plus I into v, and this z I will put it in the term of polar form, r into e power of I theta, right? U plus I into v. Now differentiate this one. This one differentiate respect to r partially. So this one differentiation f dash of r into e power theta as it is only, and inside differentiation if you do, means inside means r into e power I theta, if you differentiate respect to r, so this is the constant outside, and dr by dr become 1, right? So we can write e to the power of I theta, and this is del u by del r plus I of del v by del r. Okay, any doubt till here? Any doubt, then let me know. Del u by del r, this is consider equation number 1. Okay, now to differentiate this, again differentiate this one with respect to theta partially. Tell me what will you get. First, this one, as it is only f dash of r into e power of I theta, and r e to power I theta we are differentiating respect to theta, so r is outside. E power I theta differentiation is e power I theta into I, right? E to the power ax is e to the power ax into a, so here a is just like I, so you can write I r e to the power of I theta. Any doubt till here? So you can write del u by del theta plus I times of del v by del theta. Okay, so now see here in the left hand side here e power I theta and this one is there here, we will keep it same only, remaining we will bring it this right hand side. So f dash of r into e power I theta as it is, e power I theta will keep it, this is 1 into IR, this I into R will bring it this side, so what I will get it, 1 upon IR del u by del theta, right, plus I into R del v by del theta. Any doubt till here? Just this I and R we have brought it this side. Any doubt till here? So now this f dash of r e power I theta as it is only, this 1 upon I told in the previous derivation, 1 upon I we can write minus I, and this 1 upon r as it is only, del u by del theta as it is only, and this I get cancel here, plus 1 upon r del v by del theta. Okay, this is equation number 2. So from equation number 1 and 2 we will get it here, this left hand side is same, right? So right hand side also will be same, and this is the complex number, both complex number 2 complex number are same when real part and real part will be the same. So real part is here is what, del u by del r, and here real part this one, right? This is the real part, right? So 1 upon r del v by del theta. And if you see the imaginary part, this del v by del r is equal to this one, minus of 1 upon r del u by del theta. Okay, this one we got the same as a, which one, the Cauchy-Riemann statement is there, right? Same statement. Any doubt till here? Okay, so we have derived for the polar form also. Any doubt till here? So just quick revision here. Consider now, quick revision means what we have learned, Cauchy-Riemann equation. Cauchy-Riemann equation is statement is there, f of z is any analytic function is given, you find the real part and imaginary part. Okay, f of z is any analytic function is given, yeah, any variable is given, complex variables, you find the u and v. Okay, but substituting the z is equal to x plus iy if you are doing in the Cartesian form, right? Okay, u differentiate respect to x, del u by del x you find it, and u with also differentiate respect to y, no need to remember, I will tell you the trick to do it, del u by del y. V also differentiate respect to x, that is called vx, and v also differentiate respect to y, that is vy. Okay, if this diagonal is same and this one diagonal is what, minus with same, then it's said to be analytic, means u of x is equal to v of y and u of y is equal to minus v of x. And if you are doing the polar form here, then you have to substitute z is equal to r into e power of I theta. Okay, There also you have to find the u is equal to and v is equal to, means real part and imaginary part, right? U differentiate respect to r, u differentiate respect to theta. Similarly, v differentiate respect to r and v differentiate respect to theta. Any doubt till here? U of r means del u by del r, partial differentiation of u with respect to r, right? And this is del u by del theta. This is del v by del r, and this is del v by del theta, right? Any doubt till here? So if you do this one, so this condition del u by del r is equal to 1 upon of r of del v by del theta, we will get it. And another part del u by del theta is equal to minus of 1 upon r del v by del r conditions will hold. If both condition is what holds, then this f of z is said to be analytic. Means this function f of z is differentiable. In the real number you can tell differentiable, but this is complex we are studying, so we can tell this function f of z is analytic. So analytic will be there, so you can differentiate. Okay, any doubt here? So we will do the same example which one I have taken in the beginning of the lecture. Okay, what I said here, f of z is equal to z square I taken. This is the complex variable. Okay, and that's one given complex variable, so that this f of z is analytic. Okay, we will do in the both in the Cartesian form and polar form both. Then I will tell you the which method, which type of problem we have to do. Okay, this one I will do in the first I will do in the Cartesian form, and then I will do same question in the polar form. Okay, so f of z is equal to z square, right? Cartesian form, if I am taking the Cartesian form, so f of z is equal to z square. So z is equal to what I have to substitute? So I will write here x plus iy. In the z, in the place of z, I will write x plus iy, and I will find it real part and imaginary part. Okay, real part I will consider as a u, and imaginary part I will consider as a v. Okay, so f of z is equal to, I can write which one I have done in the beginning, x plus iy, I can write it here. So I can expand it, x square minus y square plus I into 2 of xy, right? So u is equal to x square minus y square, and v is equal to 2xy. Now this one you find the differentiation respect to x partially, you will get it 2x, right? U of y, this is 0 and this is minus 2, and v of x means this 2 into y is constant outside, x differentiation is 1, so 2y, and v of y, if you find it here, so 2 and x is outside and y is 1, so we will get it 2x, right? So we got it here, ux is equal to vy, and this uy is equal to minus of v of x. We got it, right? Both are same, only this condition holds. Then we can write f of z is analytic. F of z means z square is analytic. Any doubt till here? This one in the Cartesian form. If you want to solve the same thing in the polar form, then what you can write, f of z is equal to z square, and that time z is equal to r into e power of I theta. So f of z is equal to, we can put it here, r into e power of I theta, and we can write r square e power of I of 2 theta, which is r square, and this is cos 2 theta plus I sin of 2 theta, right? We apply here r cos 2 theta plus I times of r square sin of 2 theta. So real part is this one, right? If you compare u plus iv, so real part is r square cos of 2 theta, this one till here real part, and imaginary part is this one, r square sin of 2 theta. Any doubt till here? So now you tell me differentiation of u of r. So cos theta is constant outside, and r square differentiation is 2r. U theta means differentiate u with respect to theta. So r square is outside. Cos theta differentiation is minus sine of 2 theta into 2, right? So 2 I will write it here, this is minus. Similarly, V of r square differentiation is 2r and sine of 2 theta, and V theta is equal to, you can write here, r square, as it is only sine differentiation is cos of 2 theta into 2. Getting here? So if you see here, this del u by del r, this ur is equal to 1 upon of r of V theta. If you divide this one with r, so we'll get it both are same, right? Getting? This is 2r and this is 2r square. So if you divide with r here, so we'll get same only. That's why I written here u of r is equal to 1 upon r into, this is V theta, this is V. And similarly this one here, if you write it here, u of theta is equal to, what you can write, tell me? U of theta, if you have so u of theta I have to divide with r. Any one you can write, r times you can write, yeah, 1 by r of u theta is equal to minus of V r, right? Yeah, also you can write here, u theta is equal to minus r into VR. Getting? If you cross multiply, you will get it same only, no? So if you multiply here r, will get it 2r square sine of theta. Both will come same only. Any doubt till here? So this one, see here, now when you have to apply the complex, when you have to apply the Cartesian form and when you have to apply the polar form, that I am telling you the little idea. Okay. Consider if given similarly, f of z is equal to z power of n. Okay, and so that this is analytic. Okay, analytic. We are not. So if you do the Cartesian form, f of z is equal to, z have to substitute x plus I to the power of n, right? And this one expansion, if you do by the binomial theorems, that nc0 and nc1 all, we will not get the real part and imaginary part, will become very complex. Okay, because like consider a plus b to the power here given 10. So this one expansion is what little tough only, you know. Before that we have done a plus, like a plus b whole square was there, yeah, x plus iy whole square was there, so we can expand it here, a square plus 2a b square plus 2ab, right? But if you given 10, yeah, 100, yeah, power n, is little difficult to expand it and finding the real part and imaginary part. Okay, so here don't do by the Cartesian form. If you given this is very large, n power is very large. Getting? Because we will not be able to find the real part and imaginary part easily, will become very complex. But if you do in the polar form, it will come very easy. See here, f of z is equal to z power of n, and polar form already we know. What we know? Tell me. Z is equal to r into e power of I theta. So you can put it here, r into e power I theta to the power of n. So you can write r to the power of n cos of n theta plus I sine of n theta, right? Because r power n and e to the power of I n theta. So you will get it r to the power n cos of n theta plus I r power of n sine of n theta. So real part is this and imaginary part is this, right? And v is equal to r power of n sine of n theta. So tell me, del u by del r, n into r to the power of n minus 1 cos of n theta, and u of theta, r power n, first differentiation is minus sine of n theta into n, right? And Vr, if you write it here, n into r to the power of n minus 1 to the power n differentiation is what? N into x to the power of n minus 1 only, no? So here r power n differentiation is n into r to the power n minus 1. Here also we did the same. Any doubt in the differentiation? And v with differentiating respect to theta, so r power n is outside. Sin theta I have to differentiate, which is cos of n theta into n. Getting here? So here if you divide with r, we will get the same thing only. Okay. So ur is equal to, you can write here 1 upon r of v theta. Okay. And here if you divide with n, divide with r here, so we will get same as a v of r. V of r is equal to minus of 1 upon r of u theta. Getting out till here? So this one both are condition holds, then you can write this f of z is equal to z for n is analytic. Getting here? So here the complex number if you do in the Cartesian form, it will come difficult, then that's why you have to apply in the polar forms. Okay. Some questions polar form it will be easy, some questions will be in the Cartesian forms will be easy. So you have to check out which method you can do it and which one method you. So consider the next question is given, f of z is equal to z plus e to the power of z. Okay, and prove that this f of z is analytic. And hence find the f dash of z also. Okay, so f of z is equal to is given z plus e to the power of z. So which method you want to do, Cartesian form or polar form? Any method you can do it. First let's try for the Cartesian. If you're not able to expand it and find the real part and imaginary part, then you can try for the polar form, right? So let's try for the Cartesian. Z is equal to, I can write x plus iy, and this one what I can write, e to the power of x plus iy. Any doubt till here? You can also write this f of z is equal to, x plus iy as it is only, plus this one I can write here e to the power x into e to the power of iy. We can write it because a to the power of m into n given, so you can write a power m plus a to the power of into a to the power of n, right? So this is plus n. And out till here m into a power n is given, so you can write a to the power of m plus n. So x plus iy as it is only, this e power x, and this one we know that e power I theta, we can write cos of y plus I sin of y, right? So x plus iy, and this one if you multiply e to the power x cos y plus e to the power of x sin y, and this is I. So real part is this terms and this terms, so keep it together, x plus e to the power x cos y and plus I y plus e to the power x sin y. Any doubt till here? So we got the real part is how much, tell me? U is equal to x plus e to the power x cos y, and v is equal to y plus e to the power x sin y, right? So find the u of x and u of y. U of x means differentiate this one with respect to x. So 1 plus e power x differentiation e power x and cos y as it is only. And u for u of differentiation of u with respect to y, so x is 0, e power x is constant, and cos y differentiation is minus sin y, this one. V of x if you do, so this is 0, e power of x and sin y as it is only, okay, because e power x differentiation is e power x only. And v of y differentiation, so this y become 1 and this is e power x as it is only, and sin y become cos y. Any doubt till here? You can see here this is u of x is same as v of y, and u of y is minus of v of x. Getting here? So both are same only, so is said to be f of z is equal to is analytic. And if you want to find the f dash of z, just to differentiate this one, what is given here, just differentiate. If you know that this function is differentiable, So we can write f dash of z is equal to z differentiation is 1 and e power z differentiation is e power z only. So the next question is given here. F of z is equal to sine of 2z, okay, is analytic. You have to show that, okay, and find the f dash of z. So first you try by the Cartesian form only, okay. If you are not able to find, then only you apply the polar form. Any one method you have to find the real part and imaginary part. Getting it? So let's here also try the Cartesian form. F of z is equal to, I will write it here, sine of 2 and z is equal to what I can write, x plus iy, okay. Sine of this one also you can write 2x plus I into 2y, right? Because 2 if you multiply, 2 is the angle only, no? So we can multiply, right? Any doubt till here? So now we can break it, this one form sine a plus b form, sine of a plus b form. What is the formula? Sine a into cos b plus cos a into sine b. So we'll apply here sine of 2x into cos of I of 2y, okay, plus cos a, cos into 2x into sine of I into 2y. Any doubt till here? Now we have to keep in mind this one. This one if you don't know, you have to keep in mind cos of I theta, okay, is equal to, we can write cos of hyperbolic of theta. This is called hyperbolic function, this is trigonometric function. So cos of I of theta if you given, you can write it here cos of hyperbolic. Getting? And sine of, if you given sine of I theta, I into sine of s theta. Okay, both you remember in the same order. You can take anywhere this way. If you take, then it will come minus here, but don't remember like that. You write in the same order. Cos of I theta if you given, cos of hyperbolic. Sine of I theta, I into sine of hyperbolic. Getting? Just to keep in mind in the same order. Otherwise you will bring this side and will confuse. Okay. So see here, sine 2x, this is already there no any I here, so we can write as it is only. Cos of I of 2y is given. I can write cos of hyperbolic of 2y. Getting or not? Because cos of I theta is what? Cos of h of theta, right? Plus cos of 2x as it is only. Sine of I of 2y, what you can write? Sine of any sine of I of any theta is I into sine of s theta, right? So I into sine of h of 2y. Getting? So sine of 2x, and this is cos of h of 2y, plus this one you can write I outside, cos of 2x and sine of hyperbolic of 2y. Getting here? So this is your real part and this is imaginary part, right? So u is equal to, tell me, sine 2x cos of h of 2y, and v is equal to cos of 2x sine of h of 2y. Any doubt till here? So now you tell me the u of x. Ux means differentiation with respect to x. No, why uv rule? Differentiating with respect to x. This is x is there here. No. Partially we are doing here, no. So this is constant outside. This one only have to differentiate. You are doing partially with respect to x, so only x have to differentiate, right? So cos of 2x into 2 and cos of hyperbolic as it is only. Okay. U of y, tell me. U of y means sine of 2x as it is only. Cos differentiation is how much? Cos of hyperbolic. Sorry. Sine of h of 2y into 2. There are no minus here. Okay, cos hyperbolic given and trigonometry is different. Cos minus theta, cos differentiation is minus sine theta. Trigonometric function. Hyperbolic, just you write it sine of hyperbolic. Okay. V of x is equal to, tell me here, cos differentiation. Cos is trigonometric function. So you can write minus sine of 2x into 2, right? And sine of h of 2y as it is only. And V of y, if you do it, so this one cos of 2x as it is only, and this one sine differentiation is cos of h of 2y into 2. Any doubt in this? So you can see here u of x is equal to v of y, and u of y is equal to minus v of x. This condition holds, right? So this f of z is equal to sine of 2 z was given, no, is analytic. Getting here? If you want to find f dash of z, you can write this similarly, cos of 2z into 2. Any doubt till here? So if you do this same question in the polar form, f of z is equal to sine of 2z. If you do in the polar form, sine of 2, and z if you write r into e power I theta, okay. So maximum we can simplify up to the sine of 2r e to the power of I theta. After that we cannot, okay, you cannot expand it. If you expand it also will come complicated. Like if you write here 2r as it is only, this one if you write cos theta plus I sin theta, will keep coming complicated, right? Sine of this is 2r cos theta and I 2r sin theta. This is angle here, is not like this is multiplication, this is angle here. So it's very difficult to take the real part and imaginary part. So don't try by the polar form. Okay, when question always you try from the Cartesian forms. If you're not able to do, then only you try from the polar form. Like last questions, I will do it one more. Consider this question is given, f of z is equal to log of z. Okay, so that this function is analytic. So consider we are doing in the Cartesian form, f of z is equal to, I write log of x plus iy. Okay, z is equal to, I substituted x plus iy, right? Hello. So now see here, you cannot expand it anything here. Log of a plus b, you don't know anything, right? To given log of a into b, then we know that a into b is equal to log of a plus log of b. So this one further we cannot do it only. Okay, if you do also, it will become very complicated, which is what irrelevant to expand it in the form of Cartesians. So better you try this one here in the polar form. If Cartesian form not working here, then only you try for the polar form. Okay, so log of polar form is what you will put, r into e power of I theta, right? So now here log of a into b is given, log of a which is r and b is this. So we can write log of r plus log of e to the power of I theta, right? So this is log of r, and plus this log and anti-log will get finished. Okay, if you write this one I theta as it is here, I theta log of e. Okay, so log and anti-log will be finished here. This value is equal to 1. Log e is equal to 1. So you can write log of r plus I theta, which is, this is u and v is what, theta only. So del u by del r 1 upon r, and del u by del theta, which is 0 because there is no any theta, right? And r is constant, 0. Vr if you find it here, 0, and v theta if you find it here, we will get it 1, right? So we got the condition here also, whatever there was in the polar form. Polar form, what was the condition? U by del r is equal to, I will write it here, ur is equal to what? 1 upon r v theta, right? Hello, can you hear me? ur is equal to 1 upon r v theta, and another vr is equal to minus 1 upon r u theta. So see here, vr, this ur is this, and this one, if you multiply 1 by r, we will get it this one. Okay, and vr is anywhere 0 here, so 0 into anything is 0 only. Okay, so this is f of z is equal to log of z is analytic. Okay, this is how you have first to try always in the Cartesian form. If not able to do, then only you can go to the complex form. Still here in doubt? So next class we will do some more problem based on this, and we will go to the harmonic functions.